Okay, this is a video giving some insight into why I do what I do. For one, there are so many people that have so many gifts, so much talent, and I honestly just want them to see themselves in ways that I didn't see myself, okay? All of the stuff that I've been through in my healing journey was to help me find myself, okay? Help me understand me, why I felt the way I felt as a child if I didn't feel like I fit in, why I felt in the family awkward, right? Awkward or different, and how I still feel awkward and different in ways, right? Because of what I see and how I think and how I approach things are way different than anybody else in my family, okay? How I could see spirits, okay? How I just knew what I knew. How when I was younger, I was told, shh, don't say that, be quiet, right? Because whatever I spoke on was what I seen, what was true, what I knew, what I intuited. And you get to a certain point of being that child who has all this wow and whimsy and magic, and then you watch shows and movies, you're like, oh my God, I'm so drawn to that. Like, I'm that. Like, you already know who you are, but you haven't clicked it all together yet, right? And you're watching the show and you're like, damn, that's my life, okay? That's how I see myself. That's how I know that I'm supposed to be doing something more. And you go down this space of looking and discovering you. And you go and you take a class, or you go and you start buying books, and you start buying your cards, and you start giving readings, and people are like, oh my God, you are on point. Like, you, yes, like, well, these cards you pulled are exactly what it is. And you start working your magic at a young age, okay? You start making connection to what you're seeing, what you're experiencing. You start seeing even more crazier, darker things because you have the sight to see on all sides, right? Through the astral state. And you start to know what you know, okay? You hear stories, even your own parents telling you about their experience with what they've seen, right? Aliens and different parts, and you're like, okay. All this stuff starts putting pieces together to help you understand, like, you are not from here, okay? You're not from here, that you have this gifts and these abilities because they're on point, they're coming through, all of it. Even the parts of me as a child going through church, okay? Going through church and going through all the different types of churches, because something in my mind was like, okay, yes, right? God, right? Grew up going to Baptist church and grew up going to Catholic church, right? And doing Sunday school. I think it was technically on Saturday, but I worked with a nun at the Catholic church. And it was beautiful. And it was a beautiful experience. And there was never anything that was knocking to me about going to church, okay? It was something that I enjoyed. And then as I got older, I went to different denominations with different friends, okay? Like, okay, let me try this Christian church. I went to a Lutheran church once or a couple times. I went to some, I think it might have been Lutheran during the summer one time when I was staying with my uncle. Well, my parents went, I think my parents went and got married, and I was, I stayed with my cousins. My mom might thought that was a better idea. I don't know. But anyways, I went there and we went to like a church, kind of a school thing there. And then, like I said, I went to a Bible camp. When I got older, I went with a friend to Jehovah Witness. All these different, like, I think I even went to evangelical church too. So many different types of connection, religion, okay? And I had to think about it, and I had to be like, okay, why? Why was I so, like, determined to visit all these different churches or be okay with these different things? And it's because I wanted to understand it. I wanted to understand how there's all these different religions and what it is that their beliefs are and their background is, to understand, like, what it is I feel connected to, okay? What it is that makes sense for me. And reality is that it was always constantly connecting to spirit, connecting to creator, connecting to God, connecting to Wonka Tonka, whatever you feel is a good way to identify with source is really up to you, because the rest of it is all about someone's depiction. The rest of it's all about how someone was able to take what happened before and apply it in a way that gives people structure, maybe gives people hope, gives people faith, and you walk with it. But in reality, I realized I was only looking for connection with Creator, source, right? The one that has all the answers to how it all is and where it's all started. And I am nothing but a study inquisitor. I am someone who just wants to go and study and learn and grow and understand. And so it was really just source. I was looking for that divine love. And if you've ever experienced the love of Creator, if you've ever sat with yourself, and I want you to do this, you can do this now if you want. Sit with yourself, okay? Put your, that's funny, I was like, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, but that's so you can let the energy flow through. Put your tongue on the roof of your mouth for a moment to let the energy flow through from the heavens, right? The divine white light to flow through you from the top of your crown, down through your third eye, down through your throat, down into your heart space, down into your solar plexus, your sacral, your root, down through your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet, and down into the earth. And I want you to tune into your heart space, okay? So like imagine you're looking at your heart from the outside. Tune into your heart space. It's going to be this beautiful space. It's right behind your heart. That's where your soul is. And where your soul sits in your body, ask, right? Like you're looking upward. Ask for Creator to show you love. The Creator to show you what divine love feels like. And you're going to cry. You're going to cry, especially if you're someone who has not experienced that type of unconditional love. Okay, a lot of your relationships, and I'm sure the things you've been through in your family, this is why I'm making this video in the first place, so you can understand why it's so important to find yourself, why it's so important for you to understand you, because a lot of you have never had unconditional love. All your love has been conditional. Someone's wanted something from you. People were willing to do certain things because there was a condition to get something back in return. They haven't just given and showed up and poured in and loved on you. And so if you ask Creator to show you that kind of love, it's going to fill your heart. It's going to fill you up. It's going to, you know what I'm saying? That God frequency and energy is going to fill you up and light you up. And you're going to feel this sense of love and peace and awe. And that's what you're going to find in your soul space, okay? Even if you decide to let yourself go through your soul space. So in that space behind where your heart sits, if you allow yourself to go through, okay? It's almost like there's a doorway and opening with this beautiful yellow and green light. And you're going to go through that doorway and that threshold, and you're going to be in your soul space, and you're going to feel peace and calm and love and support and happiness and all the things that your soul actually has inside. Not just what you experienced in this lifetime here, what your soul has experienced and knows, okay? I want you to feel that. And the yellow and green light is actually the energy of the trees and the grass and the sun shining on you and the running water and the flowers and the beauty of creation. And you're going to feel that energy of love, and it's going to fill you up. I'm saying this to you so I can help you understand why it is that I do what I do, because I know that you deserve to have that feeling. You deserve to live a life where you feel unconditional love. That you get to go through the world and not feel like you're weird or crazy or something's wrong with you, because you have this whimsy, because you have this calling, because you are an inquisitor, because you want to know more, because you came here to break the mold, because you came here to unlock the codes and the keys and to set and liberate people free, because you are willing to look past what people are willing to show you, the systems. You're nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay. And I know some of you guys are going through the hardest times of your lives. I know some of you guys are going through the deepest depth of your soul, right? This deep shadow work or this deep suffering. And I'm not downplaying that it's not been hard for you, that you've not had to go through that conditional love, that you have not gone through being sacrificed, that you've not gone through being reprimanded for being different, or that you've been beat up or bullied or treated less than because somebody else didn't understand the energy that is you. But I am here to tell you that I understand the energy of you. That I understand that there are so many different ways up the mountain, that I understand that there is a part and a spark in you that just needs to be highlighted, that someone just needs to look at it and say, I see what you're talking about. What you've been feeling your whole life, it's this. This is why. This is why you have this. This is why you're carrying this. This is the experience that you're signed up for, that you were supposed to go through. I'm here to help you understand that piece of it so it clicks for you. So you don't downplay yourself. So you don't think that you're wrong. That you don't go ahead and suppress your emotions and your gifts and your magic again just because somebody else doesn't understand you. Just because the people around you don't get you. They're not supposed to. They were there to set the tone so that you would ask the questions. They were there to push you so that you would go further and beyond. And then start to look for the truth instead of just accepting the status quo and living in a system that doesn't serve you. You had that family beat you up, maybe torture you in ways just to get you to where you needed to be in life. Acknowledge it for what it is. It wasn't meant to keep you stuck and hurt and broken. It wasn't meant to keep you from yourself. It wasn't meant to torture your soul. It was just meant to help you highlight and see what it is that you weren't seeing inside of yourself, and to know that you're not wrong, and to help you continue to go and search for you until you find you and find people like you and build from there. This is why I do what I do. Because I had to walk it at one point in time. I had to go and realize that I feel and see all these things and it doesn't make sense to everybody else that's around me. So my family, yes, like we all had an understanding and a gift that we have these things, but I was like, I need to know more. I need to go further with this. I need to see it and unlock it. And I met a beautiful spiritual mother, healer. And it was instantaneous. She looked like my grandma. And I'm like, I know you. You look like my grandma. And I was there at this event with one of my sisters. And I talked to her after she did a chakra class. I talked to her after. I'm like, yeah, you look like our grandma. And what do you do? How can I connect with you? And it was just history after that. Went to my very first class with her. And there's all these other people in this class. It's not just me, right? And we're learning how to do energy work. Milagros energy work, okay? And she says, stops the whole class. She's talking. I was a little bit late. Just to also give you some insight about me. I toot to my own drum. I do whatever the fuck I want to do, okay? That's just me. But I was late to the class a little bit. And she stops the whole class and she's like, I want everybody to pay attention to her. And I thought she was going to call me out for being late. She says, I want you to pay attention to her because she's going to be famous one day. And I'm like, famous where? Famous how? What? Y'all keep an eye on her. She's going to be famous one day. You're going to see. And I'm like, oh, okay. My little 20-something-year-old self. I'm going to be famous one day. Okay. Sat down, thought nothing of it. And it just continued to go from there, right? How I grew into the gifts and abilities, and I had the same gifts and abilities that she has, and how I continued to do the work, and how I would grow and build into the energy work, and then I would go and build into my readings, and I would go and do my meditation work. And the craziest part is like, this is going into a bigger story time, but the crazy part is that when she, maybe when she got sick or right before she got sick, there'd be so many people that would ask, like, well, what happens to your gifts when you pass away? To like, who gets them? Who gets to have this energy that you get to pass down to the next generation? And then she just looks like, who do you think? Right? Who do you think? Meaning me, okay? as her child, okay? Her energetic adopted child. And it would just be some weird things like that, but then all the experiences that we've been through, which I'm going to get into more of these stories because it's time just to share all this stuff. It's been really interesting. But she told me that I wouldn't really step into all the things that I'm going to be until I hit my 40s. This year I turned 38. Okay, so I'm getting there. I can feel it. I can feel it growing and I can feel it building. And that's the thing for a lot of you too, is that a lot of you guys won't find who you truly are or step into all the things that you are until you get into your 40s. Okay, your 20s are about opening up. Okay, it's about starting to find a level of confidence. The reason why a lot of people in their 20s go through this level of fucking around and figuring things out and all those different parts, because you're learning yourself. You're learning to go through and face certain parts of you and step into your power and be willing to go and study, right? Go and study, figure it out. Your 30s are all about healing it, because you go through your Saturn return from 29 to 31. So 29 to 31, you're here to face the bullshit that you've taken on since childhood to then. Okay? That's the point where everything starts to click or make sense. A lot of you guys will go through a lot of traumatic things. Like for me, I went through the loss of my mother during that period of time. Some of you guys will go through certain losses, relationship endings, things that are basically meant to catapult you forward. Understand losses too. When you lose someone, it's usually to push you forward. You can't be a leader if the people that you're following, right, or people you're looking up to are still in that space. It's kind of like they're passing the buck on to you when they pass over, so that you can do what you need to do and that you would have support that you need on the other side. So there's that piece. But you're going to go through your Saturn return in your 30s, and it's going to catapult you forward to go through this deeper level of shadow work and healing into your 30s until you reach your 40s. Your 40s are when things start to topple off, when you start to really step into it, where you don't have any fucks given, right? You're not trying to impress anybody. You're kind of well seasoned, and you're moving in your light and your power from there. And then it continues to grow into your 50s. And then you go through your second Saturn return from 59 to 61. That means that whatever you learn from age 30 into your 50s, 59 to 61, so into your 60s, that's how you're being faced with those things. Some people, it's horrific. This is why people say people have those midlife crises, or things completely implode, or they get divorced at that time frame, because they're starting to understand what they were doing for the last 30 years, not what they really wanted to do. That's why it's important to figure yourself out in your 30s, so that when you get into your 40s, 50s, you already have a plan or an agenda to really skyrocket and soar into your 60s. And then you go through the last little of your Saturn return if you were here for that long. My point of saying this to you is the work that I do is to help you understand what it is that you carry, who it is that you are, to remind yourself of what you possess truly, to unlock, so that you can grow into becoming all the things. Okay? This is like story time mixed in with this is what I do type of a thing. But if you feel drawn to anything that I said, that it makes sense to you, then it means you're ready to discover yourself in whatever way you want to. Okay? But I am here to guide you. I'm here to coach you. I'm here to unlock. I'm here to show you and shine light. I'm here to bring back all of the ancient workings and magics, to keep them alive, to keep them alive, to keep them restored, to keep them moving, to help people continue to live in them, because there's so much knowledge. And I'm an old soul, oldest soul. I have so much knowledge from the land and the earth, from all different backgrounds, from the different lifetimes that I've lived. I know a lot, okay? And so therefore I can help a lot of people who need to be reminded of a lot of things they just forgot. They forgot. You forgot. All you did is forget. It's not that it's not there already. When you go through training, it's not that you're necessarily having to go through training because you've never known this before. It's to help you remember that you already know aspects of this. Maybe not in the way that it's being taught to you, but you already know something about energy. You already know something about, tuning in and tapping into your intuition. You already know something about the work, the healing work, the natural work, the curandero work, the medicine work. Okay? That's all I have. Stay tuned for more videos, stories, content, tips and tricks, magics and love, okay? Lots of love to you guys.